YouTubers, Pastor Bob NCC. Man, guys, I'll tell you what, I've been having a rough morning. I go outside early, probably about 9:30, and mowed the backyard, did all my yards and everything, so it looked nice when I filmed out there. But no, the lady next door leaves her dogs outside, and one of them's a yapper. So you can't even go out in the backyard without that dog just yapping like crazy. So anyway, I'm not going to wait for her to get home, so I figured I'd go ahead and film. So listen, I want to do a video, and this is because a lot of people ask me my opinion on this. And the subject for today is Bigfoot. And you're thinking, what the heck does Bigfoot have to do with anything? Well, guys, listen, I'm from California. And when you live in California, Bigfoot is just a part of life. I mean, Bigfoot's territory is all of the Sierras, and we have grown up with Bigfoot stories from day one. It's just very prevalent in California. And I remember being little and hearing, on TV, some report where a highway patrolman saw one or this, that, or the other. And I've been studying Bigfoot literally for about 40 years. I looked into it in depth over the years, and I finally drew my conclusions. But listen, there's a guy named Ron Morehead, and Ron Morehead is one of the absolute experts at Bigfoot. He's a Bigfoot tracker. He has several books on the subject, and I don't know if you guys know of the Patterson film. You've all seen it. The Patterson film is that film where Bigfoot is walking through the woods and he turns around and looks back at the cameraman. That's the Patterson film. And that film has been scrutinized. The only film that's probably been more scrutinized than that is the film where John Kennedy got shot. I mean, they have taken this thing and looked at it frame by frame, saw the muscles moving under the skin, everything, and there's no way that film is not a hoax. It's been proven it is not a hoax, the way it moves, everything about it. So listen, I wanted to give you a couple of statistics on on things that Ron Morehead has found. And this is him himself in his books, things that he has eyewitnessed. The first one is the largest Bigfoot footprint track that has ever been found was 25.5 inches. That's about that big. Huge. 25.5 inches. He has seen that. And the stride of that 25.5 inch footprints, the stride was 13 feet, was the stride between prints. And when you add those two together, that puts this thing roughly between 23 to 25 feet tall. This is one of the biggest ones that Ron Morehead ever tracked. So they can get huge. So listen, there are many credible witnesses, from policemen to rangers, many credible witnesses who have witnessed this. They have witnessed Bigfoot materializing where he wasn't, just saw him just appear, materialize out of nothing. And there are also people who have seen him disappear, just be there and then just disappear. That has been seen. So listen, here's something else that Ron Morehead has found. He has tracked these things, and I mean deep tracks, because this thing's heavy, sometimes upward of 2,000 pounds, and it leaves deep prints, especially in wet soil. Ron has tracked one of these things out into a clearing, and foot, and then just had the footprints stop. Not where this thing could jump up into a tree, jump over a cliff, jump up on a rock. Nope. Tracking this thing through the woods into a clearing, and all of a sudden, for no reason, have the footprints just stop. And he searched the whole area for where that thing went, and there's none to be found. It just stopped. So anyway, with those things in mind, what is this thing? What is this thing? Well, listen, there's a couple things you got to remember, and the first one is this. Every hunting season, There are hunters in the woods all over America, deep in the woods. And these guys have got high-powered rifles with high-powered scopes. Everything that can be shot and killed by man has been shot and killed by man, but no one has ever bagged a Bigfoot. No one, ever. The only thing that we've ever gotten out of one is hair samples and what they call the black oily substance. It's kind of like blood. Those two things have been snagged up. Something else that's very common in areas where Bigfoot sightings happen, UFO sightings also happen. The same things, UFO sightings and Bigfoot sightings, happen together a lot of times. So listen, there are several forms of this creature. And we know our Bigfoot is Sasquatch. That's what we call him on the West Coast. He's also known as the Yeti. People have seen other phenomena in the South called Dogman, werewolves, the Deeros, shadow people, and skinwalkers. I think these things all fall in the same category. In my opinion, after studying these things for some 40 years, this is what I've come to believe. I believe that these things are all demonic in origin. I believe they're demonic manifestations. I do not believe they are an animal in the woods, something that's half man, half creature, whatever. I don't believe it. I don't believe any of it. I believe it's all demonic manifestations. Bigfoot, Dogman, all these things, all demonic in origin. And people will say, well, Pastor Bob, why do you believe that? Number one, nobody's ever bagged one of them. No one has ever killed one. One has never been found. A skull's never been found, a bone, nothing but hair samples and that oily substance of blood. That's it. And you wonder where that oily substance comes from? There are places where they found where there's one instance where they put out a nail mat and saw the tracks go across this nail mat and found that oily blood on that nail mat. That's one of the only ones that I know of. There's also places where people have shot a dog man, shot it right in the chest when it got close, and the bullets hit like a thud. They heard it hit like a thud, and they found that oily substance on the ground. Black oily substance, same thing. So listen, no one's ever bagged one. One's never been hit by a truck, nothing. They've never been found. Any kind of animal, all animals, where there's vehicles, they eventually get hit by a car or a truck. No one's ever had one. Number two, they've been seen materializing and then disappearing. Credible witnesses, people have seen them appear out of thin air. And then they've turned around and seen them just gone, just like that. So no one's ever found one. They can materialize in thin air. And the last one is those tracks where Ron Moorhead said he has tracked them and had those tracks come into a clearing and have those tracks just stop. And the thing is just no more. It vanished into thin air. Those three things tell me that what we're dealing with is something demonic in origin. It is a demonic manifestation. And that's what I believe. People, I don't know if you knew this or not, but you know that back in the 1800s, a lot of the places where paranormal activity was rampant, where the American Indians that were here before us told the white man, listen, that's a sacred place. There's portals in that place. Very strange. The Indians knew that these places were sacred. Braves had disappeared in there. They've seen things come and go. Do you know that all those places, the bulk of the places in America that where these portals are, according to the Native American Indians, you know that all those things are now our national parks? All these hot spots, the government came in the late 1800s, early 1900s, and they made them national parks to put them under government control. Do you know how many people every year go missing in our national parks, never to be seen again? Nobody's found, gone. People, it's up in the thousands how many people disappear every year in our national parks. So listen, why am I telling you this? Why is this important? People, it's important because of this. As we draw closer to the last days, and Satan and his horde know that their time is very, very short, these things are what now is once in a while sighting. We're going to start seeing things that your eyes are not going to believe. We're going to start seeing things in the sky. We're going to start seeing things on the ground. We're going to start seeing things all around us. There's already hot spots where these things are just rampant. People, listen. When you see things that your eyes can't believe what you're seeing, you need to remember these are nothing more than demonic manifestations. It's nothing that we have to fear. It's nothing that we have to fear. Anyway, I just wanted to make you aware of that. I had several people want me to touch on the subject, and that's my opinion on it. I honestly believe that by the studyings of Ron Moorhead and the things that I've learned from him, that these are demonic manifestations. People, listen, as we get toward the end, this stuff is going to get weirder and weirder. I mean, the truth is stranger than fiction. But I just wanted you to kind of put that in the back of your head, let it float back there. When you start seeing things you can understand, remember, demonic manifestations. Anyway, I just want to give you something to think about. Heaven or hell, you choose. Just remember, once you take your last breath, it's a done deal.